Right now we have Jessica Tishue of Bliss Foods with us today. How are you, Jessica?
I'm awesome. How about you?
I'm good. I'm good. So happy that you've joined us today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's a real treat to be here.
Yeah, so excited. So please, first just tell us the story of how you got to where you are today.
Oh yeah, so that's been quite the journey. So I started my entrepreneurial journey about 11 years ago. My first business was a full service digital marketing agency, and we did everything from analytics to strategy to execution on that strategy. And that business became very successful. We went on to win multiple awards, worked with clients from tech startups to Fortune 500 companies like Yamaha, and even Grammy award-winning artists.
Wow.
Yeah, so I worked with disruptive marketing, which was the name of the business, for about 10 years. And I always felt this nagging feeling that there was something greater that I was meant to share my energy or focus on. And I really have a strong passion for food and health and the
Okay.
environment. So that led me here today, where I've launched my company now called Bliss Foods.
Amazing. So please tell me about Bliss Foods. What exactly that do you do? Because I know there's a lot of, nutritionists and everything out there. What specifically is it Bliss Foods are about?
Yeah, so Bliss Foods is the first ever edible superfood tableware. So we're talking
Ooh.
edible cups, edible bowls,
What?
edible cutlery. Yeah, it's amazing. It's like a real Willy Wonka experience. And the whole
Okay.
idea is to replace the need for single-use plastics while also boosting people's health. So I'm really key on nutrition. So when I was formulating these products, I really wanted to make sure that they were packed with nutrients, because I know our on-the-go convenient lifestyle isn't so much serving our health. So I wanted to make a product where people could get 30 to 40% of their daily nutritional value simply by eating their cup or eating their bowl.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and taste is super important, because I wanted people to actually eat these and enjoy
Hmm.
these. So I came up with a variety of sweet and savory flavors. For example, we have a mocha cup, or a sweet potato french fry bowl, or piece of cutlery. So they
Hmm.
actually taste really delicious.
So why that on instead of having like the actual foods and doing superfoods? Why, like I know you said on the go, but like you said, it's like kind of Willy Wonka. Like what made you decide to do that?
Yeah, so about 10 years ago now, I was sitting at an acai cafe, and I saw all of the trash blowing out in the wind. And, in that moment, I was thinking, where does this trash end up?
Hmm.
And I started to do some research, and research about plastic cutlery, bowls, and how they take hundreds of years to break down. They go to landfills. Only 9% of all materials actually get recycled. And
Hmm.
so I really thought, wow, this is a big issue and something needs to be done. And so while I was researching and learning about this problem, I also, remembered that when you have an acai bowl, people sprinkle granola on top. And I
Okay.
thought, how cool would it be to have like a trail mix bowl that you could put your acai in, and when you're
It's already
done with
there.
it,
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
exactly.
That's so funny. It kind of makes me think of like an ice cream cone, and you're excited to have the cone afterwards because it still has the flavors mixed in.
Yeah, exactly. But ice cream cones aren't very healthy, and I'm a big health buff, so
Yes.
and I'm also gluten free. So I made all these products gluten free as well as vegan and paleo.
Okay, so then who exactly do you serve? What is your target market when it comes to your company?
Yeah, my target market when it comes to the company is people who really, to begin with, the early adopters, people who already see the value in Bliss Foods.
Hmm.
These are people, and we sell business to business, so smoothie shops, acai cafes, fair trade, high-end coffee shops, health food cafes, vegan restaurants, gluten-free restaurants. And we've actually partnered with Surfrider Foundation, and they have a bunch of restaurants, and they designate them called ocean friendly restaurants.
Okay.
So these are actually restaurants who don't allow plastics. So there will be no
Hmm.
plastics for their takeout ware or anything. So they've become one of our partners.
Okay, and so like you said, the importance of food, you do gluten-free and everything. So how do you think this matches with people who are trying to just have better overall energy management and really taking care of themselves?
Yeah, food is huge when it
Yes.
comes to energy management, and that's because a lot of, if we eat something that doesn't agree with our body, it produces inflammation in the body, and when your body produces inflammation, it leads to a whole host of issues such as fatigue, achiness, soreness, mental fog, and that's because 90% of our neurotransmitters are in our gut. So actually, if we eat something that inflames our stomach that we have an allergy to, it impacts our neurotransmitters and our ability to think clearly and to show up in the world. So food, the quality of ingredients, their inflammatory properties, the nutrients, eating nutrient dense foods is super key. I mean, we live in a nation that's overfed but totally undernourished. People going, with the fast-paced lifestyle, people are opting for something that's quick and easy, and often it's filled with processed ingredients that cause a lot of inflammation and aren't so good for our health.
And on top of eating well for yourself, what do you do to take care of yourself and stay in that high performance?
Yeah, so there's a lot that I do to take care of myself. I think the food is the first thing, but also I think the second most important thing is the mind. And strengthening the perception. And so things that I do is I meditate, I
Okay.
do breath work, and then I do something every day called power questions. And these really set up my day for success. These are questions like, what are you happy about right now? Why? Or what are you grateful for right now? Why? How does that make you feel? And the whole reason and design behind these questions is to really shift your focus. So you're focusing on the positive, and then the aspect where you're focusing on the feeling, it's to increase your energy or your vibrations. So you attract more situations in your life to be happy or to be grateful for. And it really, really works.
Right. And like you said, just start off on a good note when you take the time to really reflect in the morning instead of just at night, where I think a lot of people do. It's like, no, start now, think about what you're positive and feeling good about, and it sets the tone for the day.
Absolutely, yes. And I also exercise. I think movement is super important to feeling good and increasing endorphins and mental states.
Wonderful. And so I'm curious, what does being a conscious business leader mean to you as someone who really wants the overall well-being for someone to be good?
Yeah, a conscious business leader, it's multifaceted, I believe. I think it's about using your leadership skills to make the world a better place. So using your awareness to somehow impact the world in a positive direction. And I think there's a responsibility that comes with that when you're an entrepreneur or a leader, to really be mindful of how am I impacting the planet with whatever I'm doing? Are you producing goods that are really damaging the health of our planet? How am I impacting the people that buy my products and the world at large? Are you either strengthening their health and improving the quality of their lives, or are you profiting off of them and costing them their well-being? And then I think also internal operations. How are you treating your staff and the people that you're working with? Are you strengthening the global community and empowering leadership through your efforts? And then lastly, I think being a conscious leader is that work-life balance. How does the day-to-day operations and business impact you and your health and well-being? Are you growing at a sustainable rate where you're not compromising your well-being or your mental health? So I think also honoring yourself, because if you're not well, the world's not going to be well. Your business isn't going to be well. So I think that's a really crucial aspect.
I love that. And so right now you have yummy cups and forks and everything. And so what is your vision for the next 3 to 5 years for Bliss Foods?
Yeah, so I would really like to take Bliss Foods nationwide and then globally. Really want to be in Canada and across Europe because they are enacting pretty strict single-use plastic bans. And then outside of, or with Bliss Foods, I really want to grow the products and offer a variety of products and plastic replacements, and really just impact as many people and create as much awareness as possible around single-use plastics, and also create consciousness around what we eat and how it not only impacts our health, but it impacts the environment as well.
Right. So like I said, going right now, you do B2B. At any point, are you looking for that people even have this in their own homes, where they sort of replace what they use now? I know some people even use plastic in their own homes. Is that something you are looking forward to in the future, possibly?
Yeah, I think for parties, when people host parties, yeah, I think when people host parties, that would be something that we would, because oftentimes people use the red Solo cups and things like that. So we want to help influence people not to use those. And then also we've entertained doing a bundle, like for our coffee cups, selling it direct in it. However, we're doing research to see the environmental impact of this. If this is going to require a lot of packaging, a lot of fuel to ship the materials, we're not going to focus on this.
Gotcha. And so where are the best platforms and places for our listeners to go to for more information about Bliss Foods and about yourself and for yourself?
Yeah, so you can check out eatblissfoods.com. That is our website for Bliss Foods. And if you want to learn more information about me, or you want to connect with me, please feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn. You can just search for my name, Jessica Tishue.
Perfect. Well, Jessica Tishue, thank you so much for your time today and teaching us all about your yummy business and just how you're trying to impact the world to eat better. So thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much, Gabby, for having me. I appreciate it.